Hey there, I'm Ian Douglas. I'm the author of the website techinterview.guide, and I'm here to help people with career advancement and interview preparation. My live stream on Twitch covers topics such as company research, how to build resumes and cover letters, applying for the job, getting through interviews, and what to do during negotiations. I've coached thousands and thousands of people over the years to get jobs at the biggest tech companies in the industry, and I'm here to help you too. The following episode is taken from a longer live stream event and may contain interactions with other people in chat. Check out the end of the episode for more information. Let's get to it. This next question came in from Discord. And basically the person was saying, as a hiring manager, because I've been a hiring manager, they said, as a hiring manager, is it more important that I come across as being likable in the interview, or that I have all the technical skill that you want in a candidate? So just to give a little bit of context there. As a hiring manager, I need to do what's best for the company. So I need to hire somebody with technical skill, but I also need to think of my team and make sure that I'm hiring somebody that the rest of the team is going to get along with. So it doesn't really lean all one way or the other. There's definitely a balance between culture fit and technical skill. I've shared on the live stream in the past how I interviewed at Yahoo long time ago. This is back in 2005, 2006, something like that. And I was interviewing and I was doing really well on the technical aspects of the interview. I was answering all their questions. They only stumped me one time. And then they started asking me questions about football. And I'm originally from Canada, where football wasn't as big a deal as something like hockey or basketball. But even basketball wasn't really a professional sport then. And they were asking me all these football questions, and I got kind of confused. I'm like, what's with all the football questions? And they said, well, you're interviewing with the fantasy football team at Yahoo. And I couldn't answer any question about football. I was doing great on the technical side, but I didn't know anything about football. I didn't care about football. And they could tell by the types of answers they were asking about, like, who won the last Super Bowl? I'm like, I have no idea. I don't watch the Super Bowl. I watch it for the ads, like, 90% of the population. And so they're like, okay, well, you're not a good fit for the job. And I didn't get the job because I wasn't a culture fit at all, like not even remotely close. But on a technical level, I did everything right. But they basically said, you're not a culture fit, so you don't get the job. I've been in other situations where I was the interviewer, where the person came in, they had all the technical skill in the world, but they were also a big arrogant jerk about being the smartest person in the room. And so we also didn't hire them. I have had interviews where the candidate really stood out, like, oh, that person's like really nice. Like they've got a really strong interest in learning, and they're really passionate about what we do as a company. Like they really stood out as a candidate, but couldn't write a line of code, couldn't debug a thing. It's like, well, I also can't hire you. It's one thing to be likable, but I need to hire somebody with at least some amount of fundamental skill. Otherwise, I'm putting a much larger burden on my team to have to teach you and train you more about the job than what I hope you bring as a skill to the job. Doesn't mean you have to know everything about everything in order to go get a job. There are things that we're going to have an expectation that you don't have answers for, that you're not going to know, and that's okay. But we hope that you're bringing more that you do know than what you don't know. If it's something like, I understand what it is you're trying to solve, and I've solved problems like it, but I don't know that particular programming language, that's fine. We'll teach you the programming language. If you say, hey, I've done relational database stuff using MySQL, but I've never done Postgres, like, that's fine. We'll teach you Postgres. But if it's like, yeah, I've never done Git, it's like, okay, we'll teach you how to do Git. But if you say, I don't know Git or the programming language or how to build that kind of app, and I have no idea what a database is, it's like, why are we having this conversation? If you're not bringing any skill that we need, we're going to have to train you on all of that stuff. There's a balance there. If you could be the most likable person in the world, but if you don't have some amount of the technical skill, I can't in good conscience hire you, because I have a responsibility to the business to bring the best person to the team. The best person is not necessarily just really well liked and really well thought of. You need to have some amount of skill for what we're doing. And this applies no matter whether it's a technical job or not. You have to have some amount of the skill or an aptitude for learning that thing. You need to be able to demonstrate that you can learn a particular skill in order to go get that job. Now, that's not to say you can't ever go get a job where you know nothing. I mean, I think of my first job getting out, working at, I think it was a Wendy's restaurant. I didn't know anything about cooking hamburgers or making salads or making a baked potato. Like, yeah, I'd been around my own kitchen at home a little bit, but I didn't know how to like make hamburgers for 50 people at a time because it's lunchtime or dinner time and there's like tons of people in line and going through the drive-through. Like, I can make a burger. I don't know anything about how to make 50 burgers. It's like, okay, we'll teach you how to do that. And so there are jobs out there where their whole thing is like, yeah, we're going to train you on absolutely everything that you need to do. But a lot of jobs in the tech industry are not going to be that flexible where they're willing to teach you everything that you need to know. You need to have some amount of skill that you can demonstrate as part of the interview process just to go get that job. So there's a balance in there. Where that balances one way or the other is going to depend on the company. But I don't know very many companies who would be willing to say like, hey, you're an amazing person. Everybody on the team really likes you, wants to hang out with you. They enjoy chatting with you. You don't have any of the skill whatsoever that we're looking for, but we're going to go ahead and hire you anyway. That's going to be an extremely rare opportunity. Same way on the flip side of that, if you're the smartest person, but nobody wants to work with you, it would be doing my team a disservice and a company a disservice by bringing you on the team only to have to, like, a couple of months later, or maybe not even that long, say, hey, you know what? Nobody likes working with you, because it's a lot harder to correct behavioral aspects and communication aspects than to teach you on technical gaps. But again, we don't want to have to teach you everything at a technical level. We want you to bring some amount of skill. Every company is going to be a little different, but I think it's going to be a balance of the two and not one or the other. Thanks for checking that out. I hope that you found it helpful. I always appreciate feedback, so please let me know what you think. I appreciate any subscriptions, so please tell your friends and colleagues about it as well. Check out the website techinterview.guide for more information about when I'm live streaming and all of my free content. Drop by a live stream anytime to ask questions or message me privately, whatever makes you most comfortable. See you next time.